It's your boy Simba Savi back again with another video. Welcome. Hit the subscribe button if you like my content. Hit the like button, comment, and engage with the content. Today I've got another video for you guys. Let's get into it.
Long shorts. Just be yourself. I've noticed a lot of women noticing a lot of men checking out of the dating market and asking why. And I'm kind of doing that right now too. It's not that I can't get attention, it's that it usually isn't worth it. Here's my experience.
If you are a guy out there, like, how many guys you see who have definitely checked out of the dating market just because of the clownery that we see? Let's continue.
Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner.
This is a question I've seen from a lot of women lately. They want to understand why men are checking out of the dating market. The short answer is that the dating market feels like this. So every young man wants a girlfriend.
That's true. The dating market feels like a clown show, and it's confusing to a lot of young men because girls say they want this and they want that, and then when a guy tries that, they still can't get the girl. And young men are confused when they see who girls are dating and what they're saying they want. It's two complete different worlds.
And we say, hey, I want a girlfriend. And the first thing we hear is, no one owes you anything. And that's fair enough. That's true. Mm-hmm. So then we say, well, how do I get a girlfriend? And the first answer that every young man hears is, be nice. Be nice to girls and then you'll get a girlfriend.
How many times have you heard that one? Be nice. If you're just nice to a girl, you talk to her nicely, you tell her how you feel, and you buy her things and you do things for her, you're gonna get a girlfriend. How many times have young men heard this message? And it does not work. A lot of young men are miserable and lonely. Girls are dating older guys. Only a rich man can be nice because he gets to buy expensive things. But if you're just a young ordinary man, how can you be nice and get a girl? It's not gonna
So then
work.
we do that. We go, okay, I'll buy her flowers and give her compliments and pay a lot of attention to her. No one owes you for being nice. Okay, fair enough again, but confusing. So the answer that you gave us did not work. So then we have to go ask other guys who have girlfriends, like, how did you do that? And what they always say is, just be yourself. And it's like, okay, who was I being before? I don't remember being a different guy, but okay. And usually the guy is attractive, so he doesn't know where his results come from.
And this is true. You go to the guys who have girlfriends as a young man, you're like, oh, how do I get a girlfriend? Just be yourself. That's the answer. And a lot of these guys that are attractive don't know what to tell young men. When a man is super attractive, he's super tall, he's super good looking, girls tend to ignore some of the things that he may lack in. So if you're very attractive as a man, you can be broke, and girls, you still get nice girls. If you're very attractive as a man, you might not have a very good personality, and still, just for the ability of being with a very handsome, good looking, tall man, girls will overlook that. And it's true for men as well. Look at some of the most beautiful girls that you know, they tend to have no personality because they don't have to have it. They don't have to develop it because they get attention strictly for being 8, 9s, and 10s. So that is confusing to an average young man, which most men are average. So where then does he go for help as far as how do I get a girlfriend? Just be yourself. There's many visions of a man. There's a vision of you that's fat. There's a vision of you that's boring. There's a vision of you that has a personality. There's a vision of you that's in shape. Which vision of you are you going to be? Just be yourself exactly where you are and you're not getting results. Is that the best advice we're going to give young men? So good looking men tend not to know how exactly to give young men advice.
So then we be ourselves for a while, and no one owes you for that either. So women are not giving us the correct answer, and guys who can get women are not giving us the correct answer. So we have to just start listening to, like, society. Just movies and TV and parents and teachers. And they will tell you everything and the opposite of everything. They will tell you that it's all about looks and women don't care about looks, and that women want you to have money and women don't care about money, and it's all about being nice. And some guys just give up there and they just go back to, like, I want a girlfriend and the world should give me a girlfriend, and they get no one owes you. But some guys try something and we just have to guess at what that is. And most of the time, whatever you guess and whatever you try, no one owes you for that either. But in my case, what I guessed was I'm going to work out and get muscles. And if you
That's a real point of advice. Build yourself, get attractive, get in the gym, have a presence as a man. That's good advice now. Which where do a lot of where are a lot of young men getting this advice? Andrew Tate, Red Pill content creators, Myron Gaines. And then you complain and say, no, Andrew Tate is a misogynist. Young men should not listen to him, when all of you are not giving young men anything. So where should they get advice? They are getting advice that actually works from these Red Pill guys.
You do that, it turns out that everyone owes you whatever you want, I guess. So I got in shape, and I guess I looked pretty good, and women started treating me really well, and I thought, okay, well, now I can get a girlfriend. Wrong again. Being attractive only gets you short-term sexual relationships. Women are looking for a whole series of other qualities for enduring relationships with men. After I got in shape, I really thought that I was going to be able to use that to get a long-term partner, but it turns out that they just want to have sex with you.
That's just the truth. The more attractive you start to become as a man, as far as building your body and being in shape, girls are going to give you attention, but a lot of that attention is going to be short term. Because now you still have to build on that. So I say being attractive as a man is something that takes time. You really have to build on that. You still need the personality. You still need to understand what it is that you need to be to be long-term appealing to a woman. So women don't just want you to be nice. They want a guy that they find attractive to be nice. They want a guy that they find attractive to buy them flowers, not just anybody. But when a random young man that they're not attractive, ask them, what should I do? They say, be nice. But if you're not attractive, how is that going to work? So he's really
all of
something
them.
here.
So it wasn't being nice, it wasn't being myself, it wasn't any of this nonsense. I took a guess at this and it got me sex, but then everyone ran away. So now I'm back to here again. And I heard that women like guys who could express themselves emotionally, so I figured out how to do that. And then I started having conversations with women that were like, wow, you're so attractive, and you're so emotionally intelligent and evolved. Someone will appreciate you one day, just not me. At one point I thought it might be all about money, so I worked.
And no one cares about being emotional. Women don't want emotional men. That's just the truth. Women want good emotions from a man. What do I mean? She does something for you and you are a little bit emotional. You like it. Your father dies or your parents die and you're crying. They get that. Right? But if you're going to be emotional about every single thing, the way she is, you come from work, you're emotional, crying about your day at work, she's going to get turned off. You get into a disagreement with a man, you're emotional. Any small thing, you're emotional. Women don't want that. Women want you to be stoic. As a man, you need to learn how to control your emotions. Because remember, you need to be the rock that your emotions can bump into. Because women are emotional creatures. Being stoic, does not mean being emotionless. Being stoic is being able to process emotions. So you are angry, you don't just punch someone because you feel like it. You lost your job. You're not gonna go crying and losing your mind to your woman every day. You need to find solutions. You need to be strong. You need to be the man of the house. Someone attacks your woman, what are you gonna do? You cannot think when you're emotional. Because thinking from emotions tends to make you reactive. This is what you see in a lot of guys who have a short tempers. They don't think. They just act. They just snap. And this is the other thing that society does not understand when you say men should be emotional, because men are prone to violence. Jails are full of emotional men. They felt like sleeping with that girl and they forced themselves on her. They felt like beating that man and they beat that man to death. They felt like taking that thing and they stole it. When you are an emotional man, you are prone to doing things that are going to land you in jail. A man has to sit down and think, regulate his emotions. You need to be someone who is very rational in most things that you do as a man. And when you are like that, you actually tend to be more attractive to women, because women are looking for stability. And women are not just looking for financial stability, they're also looking for emotional stability. If you're not emotionally stable, she's not going to want you, because they are not emotionally stable. So they need an emotionally stable man to actually be emotionally stable. And this is something that's feminists hate for me to say, but it's true. Women's emotions are up and down during the month. You have periods, off periods, ovulation. It is what it is. I didn't create
Worked on
people.
my resume and I tried to get a job. It turns out that no one owes you one of those either. So I don't know. I went to college, I applied for jobs, I got in shape, I'm emotionally intelligent. I'm being nice, I'm being myself. And sometimes I would find someone who liked me, who was willing to accept what I had. And these are all true stories. A bunch of them said they were cheating on their boyfriends or their husbands. A bunch of them waited 3 months and said they wanted to be polyamorous. One girl told me straight up that she liked this and this about me, but she needed me to make double what she was making, and she was making 90 grand a year. And then people said, hey, maybe it's your fault for choosing these.
And this is also true. Money is a factor. Women want men that are financially stable. And what is happening with the empowerment of women is that the more money women make, the more they don't have suitors, because women cannot date below their income threshold. They need a man who makes at least the same and above. So the more money she makes, the harder it is for her to find another man attractive. So she has two options. Either she stays in a pool where she has to share if she gets a high value man, or she has to just search and not find anything, which is the box that a lot of career women are in. They're looking for guys that have the nice cars that they have and nice careers, and those guys really don't care about money. They are dating younger girls because it's taken these women a few years to get to this point. And the guys that are in their threshold financial are going to date 20-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 21-year-olds. She's maybe 30. She finally has that career and she's saying, I have standards. The guys she's attracted to don't want her. The guys that maybe want her are older men, so she's going to have to be able to be okay dating a 50-year-old former divorcee who's probably out of shape and finds her youth a little bit more attractive. Or she's going to have to date a guy who's younger, who has no financial stability but maybe good looking, and provide him with the financial stability, buy him a car, take care of him. That's another thing that's not fulfilling for them as well. It's only good enough for short-term sex, but long-term, it's going to bother them. You understand? So women are in a precarious position just like young men are also, but in a very different way.
And it's not like I ordered them off a menu. I don't think they should be like that. They just turned out that way. So I worked on this. I did pretty good with both of them. I tried my hardest here. It's not working. I don't know why. I don't know why I can't get a job. And this is all I'm getting. Except for this, of course. So the only thing I'm missing is this, and that didn't change until like this week. And the few times I have been in a relationship, they ran around looking like this. And then they said, it's your fault I cheated on you. You're being controlling. So when men say that the juice isn't worth the squeeze, what we mean is this is what we're putting into this, and this is what we're getting back, and this, and this. And then we try to just leave and go, okay, I'm going to go live in the woods by myself, and people go, what's wrong with you? Why don't you man up and try harder? And it's like the only thing I didn't absolutely crush was money. I crushed this,
because money is the hardest box to crush. With the way the economy is now, there are no jobs, there's inflation, life is more expensive than it's ever been. So what feminism has done is given leverage to the men that can make a lot of money. Because women want a lifestyle, they want baking bags, they want a lifestyle. And these men are just running through these girls, changing them left, right, and center. Let you not have money and be attractive as a guy. Oh my God. You're going to have your pick of the litter. You can literally pick any woman that you want. You see? So this is why men are checking out of relationships. This is why men are checking out of dating, because after all this confusion a young man goes through over years, trying that, it doesn't work. When it works, you get cheated on. Trying all this only to get a woman like the previous video that I did, who's a single mother of 3, talking about, I want a man who makes thousands and thousands of dollars and has 6 houses. Or getting a girl who's, all this time you've been confused, she's been sleeping with a man that she perceives as her type, which is the top percent man, top percent in looks, top percent in money, top percent in society, right? And then you as a man are asked to now date this woman seriously and commit to make her the mother of her children. So a guy, once he's done with all this confusion, he finally has a little bit of money, he's worked on himself, he's in the gym, he's finally attracted, you'd just rather be alone and also just date, just spot fuck as well. Just literally date a little bit and break up, or just be in short-term situations, or actually check out completely because it's confusing. And for the young men that don't even get to probably get in the gym or even make money at all, they have no choice. These are the frustrated men that have to watch pornography the whole day. They have to do nothing. They're frustrated. And now this is what we call incels. And then we say these men are being radicalized by Andrew Tate. What should they do? They have no outlet to let out all that testosterone. Women don't want them. They're not attractive. Women don't want them. They don't have money. Women don't want them for any reason. They have no status. So even when a man is able to get out of that, bottleneck and finally be a relatively attractive man in terms of finances, looks, and all these things, how many years has it taken him to settle down with a woman with a body count, crazy double-figure body count? It baffles me when I hear men on the internet now talking about, no, it's better, it's okay, at least if she's had 6-7 partners, if at least she's had 10. Bro, in my father's age, in your grandfather's age, after working hard as a man, you got a virgin, bro. In today's society, we talk about, no, it's better, at least if it's below 12 bodies, at least if it's below. This is what men have to settle for. So no wonder a lot of men are checking out.
Rush this, a bunch of other things. It's really just this for me. And I think that's over. TikTok and YouTube are really picking up. But I mean, I hope that puts it in context for you. I hope that they told me that this was it. They said, be nice. And then I did all of this, and this is my only solution that I have left, is I'm going to go live in the woods, and then you don't like that either. I don't know, man. I hope that explains it. I don't have anything left to say after that.
What is a man supposed to do in this dating market? You go through years of confusion, years of rejection. What are you getting at the end of it? You don't get a woman who's been preserving herself for you, holding on to a chastity. Because remember, women's attraction does not come from working hard or being financially stable. No, women are just born beautiful. From the time she's 14, 15, 16, she's already getting attention from way, way older men. And she can decide to just sleep with any guy that she wants. All this time you are confused. At the end, society will say, no, settle down, make her the mother of your kids. That's fine. Women empowerment. Bro, you need to free yourself from the slave mindset, bro. You need to free yourself from the plantation, because at the end of the day, you're just going to be like every other guy that's settling down with these ex-wars, ex-baddies, who've done everything. There's nothing new you can do with it. She's had sex from the dukshu, She's had with multiple people. She's gone on boats. She's done it in a car. She's done everything. What is it that you can introduce to this woman that's actually new, that she can look at you and say, you know what, my man, the father of my kids? All we are taught to do as men is suffer, and save a whole. That's the reality of the modern man. Till my next video, I'm out.